Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and Daily Teachings Lotto Friday Special. Every Friday, I do these recaps focused on the Lotto options, where I show you and I talk about a lot of the Lotto options as well. So there's a playlist for Friday Lotto options. That's where this today's recap will go as well. Hope you guys are having a great Friday or great Saturday or great Sunday. Whenever you're watching this video, who have been having a great weekend. So I just want to recap all the Friday trades and how the market was. It was a lot of news plays. It was not that much of market. I didn't really focus too much on the market names. All focus was mainly the news plays. There was a bunch of news. There was Oracle, was a beautiful home run trade, Restoration Hardware, Adobe, Boeing, GEV, Williams Sonoma, MSTR. So there was a bunch of names, PDD, the on news that we traded the other day. And so a lot to recap on the news plays. And then our swing just really went bonkers. So that was good. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about a little about how we traded SPY QQQ. Big week ahead with Fed rate cuts. It's going to be crazy, guys. Be ready. So anyways, let's do a quick introduction for anybody who's new to me, who's new to my Twitter, who's new to my YouTube, or who's new to our community. All these trade recaps and all these teachings are from any trade ideas that I share on Twitter, like some of the swings I will show you, or any trade ideas we discuss in the community. Either I'm trading it or any of those trade ideas are being, guided by my traders in my community, where thousands of traders are there on the trading floor, or any trade ideas which are I share or I take. So we'll talk about all those. We do not trade random. We have a repeatable system that thousands of traders across the world use to trade consistently. Ripster, EMA Clouds. And then we have repeatable setups. System is how you trade, setup is what you trade. If there is no setup, there is no trade. You always trade with a repeatable setup using our system. I have done a lot of webinars on that. You can watch my 1 year or more worth of daily recaps. You can learn it. If you want to learn more in depth, you can join the community and you can watch my webinars there as an annual member. But anyways, you don't have to. 99% of what I teach is free, so you can do that. But anyways, we in the community, we have this game plan every morning. Me and my team, we create this game plan every morning. We have the daily news plays, then we have day 2, day 3 news plays. That's also one of the repeatable strategy that I have. Then we have crypto plays. MSTR was a pretty big one from there. Then we also provide daily levels for SPY, QQQ, IBM, Netflix, Boeing, Amazon, Meta, Tesla, ARM, SMCI, Nvidia, AMD, all those trades as well. So basically, we provide these levels which you can use with our repeatable system to trade yourself. We try to make sure, I try to make consistent traders who are self-dependent rather than those who need spoon feeding. We are not an alert service, but I still try to guide the traders. We still have a lot of ideas, as I will show you, and we have high probability trading before the system we use. In our community, we have a lot of scanners, a lot of screen shares. We have breaking news. We have tools worth 600-700 per month that you can use if you join the community. We have support resistance alerts, we have bookmap. There's a lot of stuff there in the community, and I'm usually on voice first few hours guiding through the trade ideas from the game plan if I am taking any other trade. And a lot of traders are guiding on our trading floor, which you will see here on our trading floor right there. So that's the introduction. So let's start. There's a lot to cover for Friday's trade. Let's start with the first one. So all right, guys, the first one we're going to start with, the huge play of the day was Oracle. Let's see what was going on with Oracle. We'll go step by step and we will see what's going on. So Oracle was on our watch list, number 1 play on the watch list. Revenue guidance raised, you can see that. So, I try to provide this pre-market plan at least 15-20 minutes before the market open. So the plan was, the support was 170.68, resistance pivot was 173, 174. So that was the plan. Gap fill under 3450 and breakout over pre-market highs. So let's see what Oracle did, right? So the thing to note here is, of course, there was some fundamental reason as well. Let's see. So let's look at the daily chart, right? So look at the daily chart. The fundamental reason behind the Oracle was they were guiding from 5 year ahead, right? They just had an earning. There was a gap up. Again, 5 year ahead, 2029, worth of earning guidance, and then it gaps up like 15 bucks. It didn't really make sense, but anyways, we follow our system. We don't really get biased. But as soon as market opened, I was watching it, and you see it's been swiping it before the market. And when I see this selling red candle coming under this level, right? So I said, let's watch the pops to hit the short. And then I see more flush, and then I start to hit it short. I said, start the short under the starter short under the clouds. I will add more. I usually hit shares, but today I was doing a lot of options to show everyone. So I added the lotos and I added more, and my average was 170. We can probably look here. Let me see if I can find that for you guys. Yeah, sorry, I had to pause the video, and I don't know if I said it again, but I'll repeat it again if I didn't. So anyways, this was the complete life cycle of Oracle's trade. You can see that Oracle was a gap fill trade. There was no buying it. You can see my put options that I was buying, and I added it. We have done this trade hundreds of times before, and how we traded it all the way, roll it. I told people to roll. Once your 170 is there, buy 165 puts, and they go 100%, right? This you can see how I bought 170 and 17 went 3, and then I finally had a runner left which went 166, which went 6.6. So these are the trades which will grow your count exponentially. You just have to be ready for these trades and be patient for repeatable setups. If you risked, even if you shorted it, right? Let's say you risked, even if you risked 170,000 shares, by the time it hit 162s, you made 8 grand. You risk 1 grand, you make 8 grand. That's the kind of trade you really do. So Oracle was great trade for the whole community. Everybody literally killed it. I don't know if I said it before, I'll say it again, but you see how this failed curl, we tried, it failed, and then I said it's still a short. So nothing is too low. And one reason why the curl was failing, because this is a different chart. It's so extended and everybody's trying to take profit. That's why the curls were failing. So yeah, that was Oracle. Beautiful trade in the community. All right, let's go to the next one. So PDD this morning, we was on our watch list. The plan on PDD was pretty straightforward. There was nothing crazy. Biden administration to take steps to curb China value packages. The PDD was selling off. Initial bias was bearish bias to short the pops, right? The resistance was 93 and support was 92. But when I saw this green candle moving over the Ripster clouds, it told me no short. No short. I had initial bias, but I changed it. That's why I said no short. Watch for pullback hold versus 91 longs, right? So basically you long it over the 512s, and that's what I said. Long pullbacks working, and I think even RGV was guiding everyone through PDD trade. Let's see, he was guiding on the trading floor while I was on the voice. So you can see that he filled on PDD at 93 bucks, right? Beautiful guidance by RGV. And then I gave the target for, it's always a 3450 first target, next narc in 95. Then we hit 95, and then we hit my MTF Cloud. Then I gave everybody the stops of 94.40. And once we hit our stops, we were out, right? You see this? This is where our stops were. So this was morning 512. It was gap down, gap fill, or 512 curl setup. So this was PDD, pre-market guidance, pre-market levels. A nice trade, nice little. You could risk like $1, you risk $1,000, you could make like $3,000 on this trade. The options went moved as nicely as well. One thing to understand is you can't really buy too far the options. If you're in some place, this PDD was different, because once it starts to consolidate, your lot of options are going to lose a lot of money as the day passes by the end of Friday. So need to understand that. I have a lot of tweets on it. I will retweet them. All right, let's talk about another play which was a nice Lotto play, that was RH. So let's initially RH was rejecting 310s. So you see the amateur candle. So I was watching it, but it held. It held this level. So when it holds this level, that's a long versus 300. So 300 psychological level strikes again. So there's a three concepts you can use in this trade. You could use 300 psychological level clouds, and then there comes the breakout. And this was mostly on voice comments. Some people longed at 300. They were asking me what I was thinking, and I did tell them on the voice that you can buy the Lotto 317.5 Lottos, or you can buy 320 Lottos. If you look how RH was doing, this was RH was doing. This was our plan. Gap fill under 300, long over that, over 300, and 315 is the breakout. Simple, very simple, right? You avoid the first candle, absolutely no shorting it. Now you're thinking about longing it. If I long it here, I know my risk is 300, so I add a little position. If it's bouncing 512s, I add a little more, and then it's working for you. Then you just buy the Lottos. Let me show you. And this was the breakout that I mentioned in the pre-market. Let's see if I had price alerts. And yeah, so this was the breakout, next leg versus 300 and pre-market breakout. So I told everyone it's going to go more of pre-market breakout. And I did talk about 320 Lottos. You can buy it, but at that time when I told to buy 320 Lottos, those Lottos were less than $1. They were like, they were trading at, I think they were probably trading at dollar or something. And before it started breaking out, and that Lotto went to four bucks. Here you can see that. So basically, this is the breakout. This is the breakout right here, and this is the breakout, and then it starts to move, and he holds it and starts to move, and the 320 Lotto went nicely from $1 to $4. It already went 100% on the initial breakout, and you see how the crazy it moves. It can move up and down, so you can't cut it. If you risk $100, either you take 100% out, or if you want to leave the runners, you leave it. Either it goes to zero, or then you make another. So let's say you spend $100. You bought this Lotto. That's fine. You bought it here, versus 300. You got your target. You had two contracts. You got one contract out. You made $100. You are out. You left the other contract. If that other contract goes to zero, still you will not lose anything. Basically a break-even trade. But since it was holding the clouds, then it can go higher. And when it goes higher, whatever you left $100, they became $400, and then you took another $200 profits. So you risked, you made 100 and 200 $300 on those two contracts, where you were risking 100%, and you made close to 150% average, or 200%, whatever it is. But the point is, that's how you trade the Lotto options. This worked nicely. So I gave the lot of traders in the community really did well. And of course, I think there was a 315 Lottos. They were much better. Those 315 Lottos went from the 300 bounce from $1, they went to $8. So if you bought it for $1 on this 300 bounce that I gave this in the pre-market planning, that Lotto right here on RH, even if you spent $1,000, let's say you have a big account, you spent $1,000, you made 6-7 grand by end of the day, risking $1,000, right? Depending on your account, that's your risk reward. In some cases, you can take it, like let's say you take a Lotto and you stop out under 300, but you will lose a lot because it's a Lotto. You will lose 70-80% of the value. On the stock side, you will only lose $2-3 per share if you're buying versus 300, but here you will lose much more. So that's why you have to have it 100% risk. You try to buy the options from the next week, but then the stock is illiquid, options are illiquid, so you should never trade the options which are illiquid. You will never get those good returns. This is not like Apple and Microsoft where options are so liquid. So understand that. Go to ripstereducation.com, trading tips, option rules, learn that. All my 99% education is free. You don't have to join my community to learn that. I still teach you free, so you can go there and learn. Okay, let's go to the next one. All right, next one we're going to talk about is MSTR. So what was the plan? MSTR was the no-brainer today. If I was not loaded up on Oracle, MSTR was my second play that I would have like gone big size. So let's talk about MSTRs now. So MSTR again, you know this is a Bitcoin name. You know how much range this stock has. We know that how much this moves on Lotto Friday. We have made so much money on MSTR on Lotto Friday. It's always good. It always good. But today it was a special news. What was the special news? 1.11 billion Bitcoins MSTR requires them more. I highlighted it in the red. Why? Because it was a significant news, right? Like I said, if I was not tied up in AVGO, I would have gone a big size on MSTR. So we have the levels. I didn't put the levels here because we already put the levels to trade with every day in our crypto sheet. You can see MSTR levels 132, 132.50 were our breakout levels. Now, what does MSTR do? Not only does MSTR break out of those levels, it pushes out of the MTF cloud too. Now, what is MTF cloud? MTF clouds are my new multi-time frame EMA clouds from the daily charts that show on your intraday charts. We recently started using them. They have been a huge success, providing us a lot of repeatable setups. I'm going to do a webinar for everyone soon on that. Again, quickly, a lot of people keep asking me questions. If you're not able to log, your settings are, you have to copy it twice. You have to go to Ripster, your indicators. You have to search Ripster. You will see Ripster MTF clouds, and you just click it, double click it so that you have it twice. Then you go to the settings on the first one. You want to use the daily as a resolution, 50, 55, 20, 21 on these. You're going to pause the screen, and then you don't need the EMAs, you just need the clouds, EMA 1, EMA 2, and that's your one cloud. So those are these clouds, these two. These are daily 50, 55, 20, 21 EMA. And the second cloud is the 1 hour cloud, so you just need 1 hour resolution, 3450, 2021. I don't use them, so I deselect the second cloud. I only keep the first cloud, and this is this bottom cloud. So anyways, that was the MTF cloud as long on the daily MTF. We push from here. Basically, we're breaking 20 EMA on daily, we're breaking 50 EMA on daily. I gave the 138 target, then I told everybody to hold it, do not cut as long as the 512 holds. You can see my timestamp guidance here. That's why, the beauty of our community, we are on the top of the place. You want to decide, yes, I was playing Oracle. Am I mad that I didn't play MSTR? No, because I made good money on my play. But if somebody focused on MSTR, they did better on MSTR. They did a home run trade. Literally, traders made crazy money. Somebody who focused on MSTR, and they, in the community, and they were done with MSTR, right? Because so much flow, and it's not done yet. I mean, we have to watch it tomorrow. There's something Trump said, so it's going more, but easy setup, right? It's all about finding your risk. You are finding your risk. If I'm pushing here, you put your stops right here and under the MTF clouds right here. And the pivots are breaking out. It's going to go. It's fundamental, has a crazy news. So everything is pointing towards a nice big day on MSTR. And same for the coin. You could trade coin as well. But our focus was MSTR. You see, coin was choppy, but MSTR was better because MSTR has such a big news. They bought 1 billion coins. And MSTR Lotos also went crazy. You can see that from 30% to $8. If you bought $1,000 worth, depending on when you bought it, you could have made $7,000 on just on 1,000 grand. So those are the kind of trades you really want to do. If you bought early, yeah, $1,000 you could have easily made 16 grand. So it's all about the positioning. But I think the good entry was right here on the Lottos when we were breaking pre-market highs at $1. You could easily 100% and leave the runners. That's why I said leave the runners and hold as long as 512 holds. Beautiful. Lotto Friday, 100% risk, making 600-700%. Or let's look at a bunch of other, today was just all our plays were just going crazy. Williams Sonoma, right? So why was Williams Sonoma running? Williams Sonoma was running as a sympathy of restoration hardware. One thing you need to understand is then when a sector is strong, it impacts the other tickers. If restoration hardware, which is a luxury branch, right? You need to know there's restoration hardware, there's Wayfair, there's Williams Sonoma, and Williams Sonoma was long under 139.50, short under it, right? But Williams Sonoma never gave the short signal. It started to push over the MTF clouds again, right? So that was a Williams Sonoma pushing over the MTF MTF clouds. A beautiful move there as well. All day Williams Sonoma ran. You can see that even Wayfair was a nice trade at the open, and you stop out when it breaks 48.50. So you could see that those were the nice trades with MTF clouds. Sector trading. This is called sector trading. Restoration Hardware was strong, but of course these would not have the same volume. You trade Restoration Hardware, but you can make money understanding why it's going, the fundamental reason behind why it's going, and then you can trade them, invest in them. You can invest in Restoration Hardware, not Wayfair, depending upon that knowledge you have. So always find risk reward, the setup, and understanding how the sectors impact it is very important. So you see Williams Sonoma and W just went crazy on that. Few other gap and go winners. There was GEV, there was APP. I mean, literally our news plan was on fire today. Literally, you pick any trade, the system trigger long, and you made money, right? Literally, you look at APP, bullish to neutral, 108.39 broke, it kept running after that, right? Look at GEV, all-time high chart, 218.42 broke. It's just off to races, right? All-time high charts. So literally you could scalp anything, right? This is the beauty. We spend a lot of time creating these plays, and I'm just so proud. So that's why today a lot of whole community had such a great day. All right, let's go to the next. Next one we're going to talk about is U. So U was on our watch list because Bank of America maintains buy, and it was breaking the downtrend, and it was also a day 2 setup. So I said it's a day 2 setup, bullish 34.50 hold, 19.50 is a breakout. Very simple trade. As soon as it started I saw the strength, I told everybody it's long. Of course, I expect traders to be long before I even say it, because I don't want people slapping when I say it, right? But anyways, if you focused on you, small account trade, 1950 breakout, push to 2071, pull back, 512 curls, and I did give this 512 curls on you. I talked about 512 curls on the RGV was taking the 512 curls. You can see that, and we were talking about the 512 curls on you, and that was a beauty. That was a beauty. 512 curls right here, and I told everybody to put their stops right at 990. Wherever you buy, you could easily make almost $1.90 there. So you was a beautiful winner. You could trade at the open, you could trade at the midday. Both setups were very clean, and you stop out once it gave up 2040. Right here, you stop out. Beautiful trade. So HIMS was another one which was a bearish bias initially. Let's see our game plan, but you have to understand, right? Profit target pro 20 by Bank of America from 24, bearish bias to short under the clouds, right? 1610 was resistance. But when you see this first candle, you don't short it because you want to see a red pop, right? And it triggered long. That's what I said. It triggered long. I saw it. I mentioned that it triggered long, and then it went on to run. MTF was the target that I gave everybody. It almost got close to the MTF, and then you just stop out. Just make 40-50 cents a short low ATR stock. But you need to understand that even if we had a short bias, but there is a support here, a lot of support here, and you see this big candle, you do not short it. Let's look at a crazy runner. Crazy, I think it's a Chinese runner. It went just crazy. Big short squeeze. The stock went from $9 to $92. Nothing special. Have seen these kind of trades a lot. But you don't trade these stocks a big size. So what was the plan? The plan was 50 was support, 64 was the pivot, huge range, careful, don't size big, short under 50, long over it. Of course, you wouldn't have found the short. So anyways, it was only a long because I'd rather just say long because short is hard to short these kind. If you have a good broker, you could short it. If you don't have a short broker, unlike like Trade Zero or something, you would not be able to short it. But what I want you to see is that it pushes, pull back 50, bounces. Higher lows, 34.50 bounces. When you see this, then you can buy it. You can buy it here, you can buy it here, you put your stops at 50. So you're risking like $3-4, right? You're not risking $1, $3-4. And then you're trying to make $10, $10-15. And after that, it was off to races. A lot of traders traded this. It was off to races. TIL was just off to races and all day. And you don't have to a big size because it pulls $10 down. You will lose a lot. You just take a small size, right? Like if you take 1,000 shares, you just take 100 shares on this one. because even 100 shares, you're risking 400, you can still make 2 grand on a move. So size is based upon your risk and not and based upon the range of the stock, right? So these are some crazy plays. Beautiful TIL breakout. Chad was on top of it. Very well done in the community. Really proud of everyone. Not for everyone, but definitely a good one for experienced traders. So there were a few other traders. ARM was a nice long today with the market. I told everyone it triggered long right at the open, and ARM triggered long, and ARM pushed from that. So that was a nice win. Nothing much to recap here. Went from like 143 to 149s. 150 was the target that I gave. I told everybody look at 150. Why? Because 150 is a psychological level, and look what the high it made. It came back $4 from there. Never could cross it. We'll watch it next week. All right, so there were some news plays today which were pretty solid. There was Boeing, which was a news play. Our news bot alerted, and here's the thing: you combine your news with the system. So system tells me I can short here. System tells me I can short here. System tells me I can short here. So once, and our news bots are so fast, we get the news right away. We get the news, and people are joking, right? They're making their annual memberships just with the news, right? And that's good, and of course I am never into those. I never try to sell anything, but I'm just talking about the value of our community, and it's just beautiful, right? Keeping eyes on everything, and Boeing was just beautiful. And then there was DJT, and here's our news bot. If you're wondering where the news was, it was right from our news bot here. Come on, it's hanging. So yeah, so you can see our news bot right here, alerting the news on Boeing and DJT. That was a later. So yeah, see Boeing right here. Boeing conference started, and then right in the conference, Boeing started to fade, right? And we had our voice alerts as well on news, and same thing was DJT. DJT, I haven't tweeted about the news, and DJT was just so easy, right? We don't really care. We know when there is I told everybody I grabbed 1731 on DJT. I think you can see my tweet. I tweeted on DJT as well when the news came out right away, because when news like this, there's always this Friday, people are there's going to be option gamma squeeze. A lot of traders are going to do the FOMO. So things can run, right? So you see DJT, Trump says he's not selling, Trump says not leaving the Truth Social, and then after that, from that, it hit 2086, right? I added at like 1731. I had like not much, just 5 grand shares, and had a decent trade, just with the news bots. So that's the value of the community, when you trade with the community and you have these tools. There was another one today. Another one of was example of our MTF EMA Cloud System. Look at that, MTF Cloud Longs. Right, look at that, Etsy, right? Etsy was a beautiful crowd long on you see MTF to MTF trade. It's your long here right into the MTFs. That was a beauty. So MTF to MTF, this is the beauty of the system, guys. I'm going to talk about a little bit about SPY, not too much, not going to spend too much time. SPY was all right today in the morning. It was a long. I told everybody it was a long because VIX was dumping. You can watch my previous videos if you're a new follower. I explain everything on the VIX SPY strategy. So it was a long, and Tape made a nice call on the SPY long for everyone on the trading floor. And you should follow Tape. If you don't, he made a nice call, and people traded SPX nice from 560 to 562. That was a nice long. So it was a bullish day. I just wanted to discuss more on the market, but running late on this video. I think if market does a 25 BPS, then it's going to be priced in. If market does a 50 BPS, then I think the smaller names can run. And that's where IWM and TNA come in, right? IWMA and TNA, the mid cap, the small cap, sorry, TNA, and they come in, right? They are holding the strength, because if you got 50 BPS, I have explained many times how the low rate interest helps the companies which are still growing, which has a lot of debt, so their borrowing cost decreases and they can borrow more. But you're not going to detail of that, but they will benefit, right? If you see the 50 BPS If 25 bps, I don't know. And frankly, we don't know what's going to happen. But the probability is that if they cut 50 bps, and not only cutting 50 bps, if Powell comes in on Wednesday and then he talks about, oh, we are going to do another 50 bps, then things are going to go bonkers, right? If he talks about the future rate cuts, like next 6 months will be aggressive, we're going to be, and maybe we buy the smaller caps and they sell the large caps. So maybe there's a huge sell-off in the large caps and maybe the smaller names start going. I expect biotech to go, real estate to go, regional banks to go. Those are some of the sectors we will focus. Nothing is given, we are just talking the probability. So it'll be going to be fun. That's why, TNA, IWM, it's not a bad swing. Talking about swings, let's talk about our swing trades. All right, guys, I'm gonna just recap some of our winning swings. We had a great week in our community. A lot of our swings went crazy. Let's start with SOXL. I'm just gonna use Twitter to show that the trade. So there was, let's see if I'm trying to find my original post here. All right, let's look at my original idea when I traded that. Chart idea could not resist the 1 hour curl. So this was a 1 hour curl, and also there was a support on SOXL. So different setups. Each swing we do is different setup. I don't even need indicator, MACD, RSI. You don't add that. That's bullshit, right? Even the EMA Clouds is to look at the trends. But when you're trying to do a swing, you just need a chart patterns. You look at the support levels. So you can clearly see SOXL had a support here. It was trying to curl. Of course, you learn a little bit about the fundamentals and macros, what's happening, and you make a calculated risk. The 1 hour chart was turning. That's why I liked SOXL. I gave the swing in the community. We bought at 28 and then it pushed to 30.54, and you can see right here timestamps are 30, 30, 33 and still pushing, and we are still holding. In 4 days, you are risking like 1,000. How much did we risk? Or maybe we risk like $2,000, and we are already making like $5,000. So that's a good risk reward swing, and I would like to make even more, over 34, 35, 36, until the rate cuts, until the Fed rate before Wednesday. We'll see how that goes. But I just showed you the complete timestamp of this swing trade in the community. It's our official TANET community swing trade. I explain more on the voice as well on these swings in the community, but I also I still give these ideas free to my followers, I like always, and so that they learn from these setups. So these are some of the the swings. Let's go to the next swing. So next swing we want to look at was I think that was a Google, right? So what was the setup on Google? Let's check that out. Let's see if I can find the Google swing, maybe show you guys on the Googles. Yeah, so here you go. So you see that we had our Google swing. What was the setup? Support swing setup, buying at 151. Risk is either 150 or 149, does not matter. Where are we now? 153. Read carefully, pause the screen, understand what was this setup. This was a support bounce setup, 150 psychological setup, repeatable setup. This swing is a repeatable setup, right? I just showed you one swing, and look at that. We started to trade from that, and our next target was 156 that I gave the other day, and we hit. Where did we hit? We hit our 155, 156 target. And not only that, our Google swing is still going bonkers. Let's look here. Let's look here. Let's look at here Google. It hit 158. So you see that it's bullish now. It's over 1 hour MTF, and it's going to test the daily MTF cloud soon. So we'll see what happens. But so hopefully you see the setups, the similar type of setups. Now next swing was a little different. Let's look at that one. Now NNE was not our official swing, it was not our community swing, but regardless, I shared this idea. I always keep eyes on something that has, that has moved a lot in past like crazy. So this stock ran from $4 all the way to $37 because nuclear energy was such a hype. So I always keep eyes on it. I am always looking for that setup, that there's going to be a secondary run, because the hard themes just don't die like that. And look at that when NNE did, right? NNE pulled back, double bottom, bounce. I have been actually watching it since that 640 levels, and I'm talking about taking the swing. But I then finally decided to, do that, and I shared it in the Twitter as well. And you can see that then Larry Ellison, he talked about that 100 billion in AI boom in nuclear energy, right? So look after that. Then I gave these chart setups on NNE. You can see that, the chart setups on 10 bucks. That was my 10 NNE setup. Others is SMR, but NNE is much better. So you look, see, it goes to 13. What do I see? I have a support, I have a downtrend channel break, then I have Fibonacci's, and then I'm making $4, and then I'm making $6, right? It went to 16. So I'm risking what? Let's see, what was I risking? I was risking low of this candle. I was risking $1.50 or less than $2, and I already made $6. That is a risk reward. Find yourself what is your risk reward when you're trying to do swing. So that was the third swing. Let's go to our biggest and the best swing now. So this one we're going to talk about is SMCI. This was so clean. So this was a different setup. This was not just a support. We discussed in the community. This was not just a support setup. This was SMCI was, if you see, I gave this SMCI. This is the idea I gave, like at 410 risk of 395s or 400s, and that was our setup on SMCI. Okay, so this was my first day I gave this idea, and it's official. We added in the botanic community. So swing 1 hour chart, bullish, 400 psychological, dipped. Remember, when we was dipping, I talked in my community that we are not stopping out, because risk is, if it breaks 400, then we'll think about stopping out. But guess what? It held 400. So one concept, 1 hour trend, reclaim 1 hour trend, 400 psychological level. This was a different kind of repeatable setup. And then we showed patience, and then pushed to 428, then pushed to 436. Our first target met. I said we need to hold, and today it went boom. Look here, 1 hour reversal, 400 held. So those are the repeatable setups, guys. Swing portfolio is just so good, in just this 1 week. That's why I don't do too many swings, but when I do swings, I make sure those are my repeatable setups are very strong, and we make some profits with that. So really, really great week for community, really great week for the followers, a lot of learnings. It's not about making money, right? You can always make money. Money is secondary, but it's trying to learn these setups, the market, the teaching, investing, day trading, swing trading, right? So I just showed you how we had 4 successful swing trades, right? Where you could risk $1,000, or if you are options, that's different. You have to adjust according to the options, but these are the repeatable setups. I do have a swing webinar that you can watch. You don't have to watch. You can use my free website. I have a lot of stuff there as well. All right, guys, thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Happy Saturday, happy Sunday. I'll see you next week. Huge week. Fed rate cuts coming. See you then. Bye-bye.